Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are trying out the new NYX Modern Dreamer palette. Look at her. This has got so much color in it. So I wanted to do this one and really test it out because most of the palettes that I recommend are high-end palettes, and this one, for the price that you pay, you get so much color. It is everything pinks, oranges, greens, blues, purples. You get your good neutral colors. There is a ton of matte, which I personally love. One of you guys actually recommended that I try this out, so I went and took a look at it, and I was really thrilled that there was a lot of matte shadows in here and it's not just a bunch of shimmers, because to me, I would rather have a ton of mattes and one or two shimmers. I feel like a lot of times palettes are kind of like off balance in that way, where you really need the mattes to blend. This is a close-up look at the colors so you can see really nice, beautiful, beautiful colors. I'm hoping that this will perform as beautifully as it looks, so I'm excited to go ahead and dive in. I do have my lids prepped with the CoverGirl True Blend Concealer, and then I did very lightly powder it and then really dust it off. So they're kind of just like a blank canvas. If you want to put on a bright color and you really want it to pop, you can go on while the base is still kind of tacky and blend from there. But I think for most people, we're used to having like a really clean canvas and really ready to just put color straight onto, and it's already kind of lightly powdered, so it's more of a natural finish. My lid isn't incredibly matte right now, it's more of just like a natural feeling, so that way it will stick a little bit, but it's going to be easier to blend that way. If you're a makeup artist and you feel comfortable putting shadow straight onto a sticky base and blending from there, more power to you. It really makes the colors pop, but I think most people are going to be a little bit more comfortable doing it this way, so that's what we're going to do. So with this many colors, I'm not going to be able to use not even half of the colors in this palette, so I'm just going to try to pick a little combination of things. I'll definitely use some shimmers, I'll use a ton of mattes. So yeah, I'm just going to go in and start playing with these shadows. I have a ton of clean brushes. I'm going to start with Morphe E27. It's a really large blending brush. So everything in here is just numbered. So literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are on the back stars where you have pressed pigments. I'm going to show you what this little depiction looks like. So a lot of them have stars beside them, and those are pressed pigments. On the top row, for instance, number 6 is a pressed pigment, which is going to be this shade right here. So I'll probably try to do a couple pressed pigments and then the rest shadows, just to kind of get a good like mixture of things. So we're going to start with number 3, which is this light little tan. It's going to be a very light transition shade. So I'm going to start above the crease with this shade and really just blend, blend, blend. So I'm going lightly with this and then blending up. And I am going to go for a look that is relatively wearable, neutral, but still has a little color in it. But I want to really test this out for the purposes of hopefully finding a really good affordable recommendation. I feel like I used to recommend Morphe palettes, but for me, when I start to really use high-end palettes, you definitely see the difference. Not that Morphe doesn't have some beautiful palettes, because they really, really do. But, you know, I want super pigmented, super blendable, creamy, like I want all that good stuff. So I'm hoping that we'll find that. Maybe with this palette, maybe not. So we've got a good little transition going on. I am going to switch brushes. I'm going to go to the Sephora Pro Featherweight Crease Brush, and I am going to go into that shade 6, which is that pressed pigment I showed you guys. This is more of like a light muted pink, and I just want to see how they blend in together. Okay, blending nicely. I see both the colors blending well with one another, so far so good. It's definitely got some pigment to it. Okay, we're gonna move on to the Morphe E17 brush, and I am going to go into shade number 8, which is this like berry shade on the top row. So I'm gonna try this out deeper into the crease and begin to blend into the outer corner. Alright, so far so good. I like the way everything is looking. The pigmentation is not like insane. It's definitely there, but I'm starting out with very light little layers of color because I do want to try, you know, a lot of colors in this one. So starting out very light and then building up. And then what I like to do is go backwards with my brushes. This isn't a necessary step, but for me it gives a little extra blending. So again, I'm taking one brush back and one shade back. So going in with that pink and blending further. and I want to extend the color out just a little bit, so this is an easy way to do it. If you get to a point and you're like, okay, well, it's a little too cropped in, I want to blend it out, you can definitely take a step backwards with your brushes and your color, and it will help with the blend. So going back to the first brush and the first shade, but very, very lightly. I don't want to add a lot of color, so I just barely tapped on and blending up and out. I'm really trying to like balance putting the colors to the test, but also doing kind of a more wearable look. So hopefully you guys are enjoying that, okay? I'm now going to take the Sigma Firm Blender E44, and I want to dip into something a bit darker. So I think I'm going to try out this shade. This is number 32, this one right here, and it is also a pressed pigment. So we've done a little bit of both, a few shadows and a few pressed pigment. So I'm going to go deep now and focus that on the outer third and build it into the crease a little bit as well. Now that one's got some real pigment. Because that one's so pigmented, I'm kind of first placing that, and then we're going to go back and blend a little bit. Okay, so this one looks like it's gonna definitely take some blending. The first several shades were very easy to blend, very easy to apply. It didn't take a lot of blending to get it laid out perfectly. This one's not looking great after just laying it down and starting to blend. So what I'm gonna do is switch my brush. Again, go back one brush. I love the E17. I feel like I have a lot of control with that one. This is the Morphe. So I'm just doing a little extra blending. It's kind of like catching and not wanting to properly blend. Like I'm seeing, I don't know, just like where it's like skipping across the eyelid, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to make that work. It is a very dark shade, and the more I blend, the better it's getting. So it's not like it doesn't work. It's just one of those shades that maybe will take a little bit more blending. I went back into that berry shade again because that shade was so dark and pigmented. So there you go. It's really starting to blend nicely. It just is not one that you can like throw on and go. It takes a little bit more time with that one. I'm not really sure where I want to go with this look from this point. I've used like a couple different color families, some warm, I've used some pink, some brown. It's gonna be kind of hard to really incorporate a lot of the other shades because I've gone in this kind of like color scheme and direction. So I'm kind of tempted to use this like hunter green on my lower lash line. I will tell you this, I don't have any fallout. Like there is nothing happening. I am doing like a really proper method of not putting too much on the brush, so that helps a lot, but I'm not getting fallout. I am not, there's like nothing falling underneath my eye, which is really great. So great point if you like cannot stand fallout or you have a hard time. This one's pretty good. I am, you know, like I said, loading my brush up just a little bit and kicking off excess. That's always a great tip and trick to start with. You can always put more on your brush, but if you go in with too much that first time, it's like, ooh, fallout, and it won't blend as well, and yeah, you're just kind of stuck at that point. So I think what I'm gonna do is try something on the lower lash line. That's gonna kind of help me decide what I want to do on the rest of the eye. So I'm gonna try that hunter green. It is more of a, this one's more of like a matte with a shimmer in it, if that makes sense. Like it feels like a matte formula when you actually touch it and swatch it, but if you look in the pan, it's like a very fine little like shimmer in it, or glimmer if you will. So I'm just gonna try it. Starting out really cropped in by the lash line. It's blending really nicely. I'm gonna go in with the Wayne Goss. This is the number 5. Love this for the lower lash line. So this one has just a little bit more like movement and flick to it, if you will. So it's easy to kind of blend it out now that I know that color is looking nice. Okay, I'm just gonna go in with something that's probably gonna look crazy, but I just wanna see what it looks like. So it is this like a lime yellow color right here. This one is number 18. It is not a pressed pigment, just a shadow. So I'm gonna take that on the same Wayne Goss brush and go right here. So it shows up, but it's nothing crazy. Okay, swatching a few shimmers to kind of test out what I want to use. I think I'm really drawn to this like a lighter soft pink shimmer for some reason. There's also this, which is the second color in the actual palette that looks gorgeous. I might stick that in my inner corner. So first I'm gonna try with my finger that light pink and see what she looks like. pretty nice with just a finger application. I'm going in with this E36 blending brush. I'm going to take that other really highlighty shade. I wet my MAC 248 and I'm going to try that pink little shimmer. I am now going to go in with that dark pigment and just kind of darken this bit a little bit. Okay, so I'm really liking everything so far. I'm going to do my other eye off camera and then we will come back and wrap it up. Alright, my eyes are done. I'm putting on a little Grande Lips. This is the Hydrating Lip Plumper. And this is Cranberry Crush. So this is the glossy formula. I love their lip plumpers. Alright, there we go. So I am really loving this so far. I'm just kind of looking and I'm super impressed. Let me know what you think about this look. So I want to wear this throughout my day. I have a long work day ahead of me. So I'm going to see how this holds up because so far everything is looking beautiful and I'm kind of blown away. So I just want to wear it, see how it holds up and how the pigment really stays. I think everything is going to turn out just fine, but I am a little bit rushed, so I want to just wear it, see how it goes, and then when we come back tonight I'll give you my final thoughts on this palette and we'll also do some swatches in case you guys would like to see some of the other shades in here. I'll leave that towards the end, that way if you're not interested you don't have to stick around, but I will go ahead and swatch a bunch of the other shades that I didn't use so you guys can see it in action. But for now, this is it. This is my look and I will check in with you guys in, a second. So it is much later. It is actually 10:25. So I've had this on for over 10 hours. I did my makeup right around 12 is when I did my eyes. So it's been on for a long time. And I have to say that this has held up really beautifully. Pretty much all my other makeup is like breaking apart. I keep trying to love the Marc Jacobs Shameless Foundation and I just don't like to get the coverage that I want. I have to build it up and then it breaks apart, like it's so broken apart around my nose. This isn't about that. So the shadow for the most part looks beautiful. I do have really just on this eye, which is weird, I have a little tiny crease running through like the crease of my eye, but other than that it looks really good. Like the colors are still pretty vibrant. You guys can obviously see what the differences are between when I first applied it and now. That kind of like brighter yellow green color, I wound up kind of mixing it with green, so it's a bit more of like a mustard look, so you can still see a little bit of it, but pretty much everything is looking really good considering 10 hours of wear. I think that's pretty phenomenal. So I have to give this palette a big thumbs up. Like I am really enjoying this. I can't wait to play with other colors in the palette. Of course there are so many looks you could do with this. Like the color assortment is just kind of insane. So like I said, I want to go ahead and do some swatches, but I do have to say that for the price I don't think you can beat this, and I do think, at least when I bought it and then later on when I looked at it again, it's been on sale. This goes for $35. They also have the Swear By It palette, which is on sale. So if you're really interested in this, it is on sale at Ulta, and of course you can get all your points. And as promised, I am going to do some more swatches. I'm not going to swatch every single shade. It would just take forever and honestly wouldn't be that interesting. But I want to swatch like some key shades, like the white I didn't really use. Let's start on my hand. Not bad for a white. Here's some matte shades. Not bad. These are fairly light shades, so I think that's pretty good. Moving on to the second row, let's swatch these two mattes and then this shimmer right here, which I have not swatched. That's on the fingers there. It's a really good little fall assortment. That brown is like a really pretty like bronzy brown. That looks really cute. Moving on to the third row, I'm gonna grab this guy. Let's do some orange. I'm really intrigued by this green. Actually, let me step back and do this red. Ooh, those look pretty vibrant. You can definitely tell that red is a pressed pigment. It's a little bit dusty, but man, everything I'm swatching is really appealing to me. It definitely makes me want to dive into the palette a little bit more and play with some different assortment of colors. So let's drop down to the fourth row. I only used this dark brown from this fourth row, so I'm going to swatch several of these. I'm just going to go all the way across, and here we are. Ooh, not bad for like one little swipe too. Those are all looking really good. There's definitely like options in here. You have so many neutrals plums, you've got like a rainbow of bright colors. I don't know how I did that. Like, I have no idea how I did that. Let's just ignore it. And then on this bottom row, let's grab some of these colors. I don't know why I flip-flop fingers and didn't do that in order. I'm gonna go for this shimmer down here. Ooh, look at those. Ooh, that last color I swatched was like a black with a silver little glitter in it. These are left-handed, so I apologize. This is not that great. So more colors right there. Those swatches are not very good, but it kind of gives you an idea of some of the colors and how pigmented they are. And I have to say, everything blended really well. Every matte that I used blended together nicely. Even the pigment blended fairly easily. It took a little extra work, but I have to say, I highly, highly recommend this palette because I think it has excellent quality for the price, given everything that you can do with it. Obviously, if you don't wear color, this is probably not for you because you're going to use maybe a third of this palette. But if you are someone who wants to dive into some color, or maybe all you have is neutrals and you feel like you need that pop of color every now and then, here you go, because you've got a little bit of everything, but so many countless looks you can do. Bright, bold, neutral, smoky, everything you could think of. So big thumbs up to this palette once more. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know down below what other types of videos you would like to see. Let me know below. I'm super interested in your suggestions. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure to leave me a big thumbs up on this video. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell as well, so you know of all my future uploads. So I hope you guys have an amazing day, an amazing night and week and month and everything else, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.